Hello everyone, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I hope everyone getting well by the grace of Almighty Allah. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to another day of learning. Welcome to Institute of Global Professional Free International Webinar. Thank you all for joining with us in this marvelous session, and I hope you stay with us till the program ends. And time to time, you like our Facebook page and subscribe our YouTube channel for upcoming information. And don't forget to mention your friends in the comment box because your advertisement encourages us to do better and best services to our lovely audience. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, I am proud to be associated with IGP as a global member. And I feel honored to host this webinar, and it's my delight to welcome you all to our Institution of Global Professional Free International Webinar. Once again, I am Kamrul, coordinator of IGP from Bangladesh. Dear participants, today we have a brilliant speaker from Greece. And after our today's presentation, we have quiz competition, and after that, we proceed to our question and answer session, and after that, we proceed to our certification process. Before starting the program, I request everyone to share this webinar in your newsfeed and social media. And don't forget to mention your friends in the comment box. Today we have a speaker from Greece. Today our speaker name is Ma'am Rania Lampu. She is a global educationalist, author, a speaker, researcher, global peace ambassador, and most important, she is a director of IGP. We welcome our speaker to the stage.
Good evening.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for joining, ma'am.
Warm greetings from Greece. I'm very, very happy. It's a great pleasure and honor to be invited by the Institute of Global Professionals for this webinar. Thank you very much for this opportunity, and I would also like to congratulate IGP for the amazing work it's doing every day. So today we will discuss about how we can foster entrepreneurial mindset in education, how we can integrate entrepreneurial skills in our school curriculum, how the concept of entrepreneurship has changed the last years since it has acquired more dimensions, and how it is important, especially after the COVID pandemic, to familiarize students with the concepts of social, inclusive, digital, and green entrepreneurship. So may I share now my presentation?
Yes, ma'am. Share your screen, please. Make it full screen, ma'am.
Is it fine now?
Yes, ma'am.
You can see also
your presentation.
You can see also the change of slides.
Yes, ma'am. It's moving.
Okay, thank you. So education is the driving force behind every country's economy, directly or indirectly. And so far, we have seen many schools that have adapted to modernization and have started making students work in groups to solve problems, to learn online and integrate science with arts. But we can notice that the students that are graduating lack the advanced skills and innovative thinking to work through the modern day challenges in the workplace. That means that they are not graduating as doers, makers, and cut-edge thinkers the world needs. Therefore, entrepreneurship has a capacity to not only start companies, but also to think creatively and ambitiously. It's very important to be included in school curriculum. The idea of infusing entrepreneurship into education has spurred more enthusiasm in the last few decades, and the global community of entrepreneurial education proponents is enthusiastic about the possibility of spreading this idea because it is believed that it will benefit societies and economies in addition to influencing human development on an individual level. So many effects have been stated to result from this, such as economic growth, of course, job creation and increased societal resilience, but at the same time, individual growth, increased school engagement, and improved equality. So entrepreneurship education has advanced as a means to educate the new 21st century workforce by giving students the skills to take any area of study or discipline and be creative, innovative, and entrepreneurial. So through entrepreneurial education, flexibility, adaptability, resilience are taught and applied so that success can be achieved as workforce demands change over time. We have seen also through the COVID pandemic how these skills are the most survival, important survival skills. And through entrepreneurship education, students recognize that they would need a variety of disciplines to be successful. They will learn that entrepreneurs are the agents of creation because, and of creative, we could say distraction, because they destroy old paradigms and invent new ones. They pioneer new processes and products. Entrepreneurs are agents of social economic change. In studies with the national graduate students in entrepreneurial education was found to influence personal growth, confidence and identity development, new career intentions and learning application. Exposure to entrepreneurship coursework and faculty should produce increasingly higher levels of self-efficacy, out expectations and career exploration. So we could say actually that entrepreneurship education cultivates innovative talents, which are an important driving force for future development. And at present, innovation-driven development strategies place new demands on entrepreneurship education. However, putting this idea into practice has posed significant challenges alongside these positive effects. What are these challenges? First of all, lack of time and resources. The teacher's fear of commercialism, the impeding educational structures, assessment difficulties, and lack of definitional clarity are some of these challenges that practitioners have encountered when they try to infuse entrepreneurship into education. At this point, we can clarify some aspects of entrepreneurship and why it is relevant to society, when it is applied or not, and how to do it in practice. So when we talk about this definition, it's the ability to turn ideas into action, to be innovative, to take initiative, to take risks, to achieve objectives and manage projects. That could be one term, but the risk for confusion, misunderstanding is significant. And any discussion on entrepreneurial education needs to start with also with the narrow definition. Narrow definition of entrepreneurship is about opportunity, business development, self-employment, venture creation and growth. That means become entrepreneur. So we have a narrow definition, how to become entrepreneur. And on the other hand, we have a more broader definition, how to become entrepreneurial. And this, according to the wide definition of entrepreneurship, it is about personal development, it's about creativity, self-reliance, initiative taking, action orientation. So entrepreneurship education is an important way to acquire resources, to enhance innovative ability, innovative personality, and build multi-level learning channels for entrepreneurs by integrating various knowledge and value systems. From knowledge learning to skills improvement, entrepreneurship education includes general ability development and improvement of professional ability. So entrepreneurial competence is the ability to identify opportunities. And develop the necessary resources and capital in addition to technical, financial, and legal knowledge. It is related with fostering creative skills that can be applied in practices, education, environment, supporting innovation. Student entrepreneurs use multi-part interaction to achieve knowledge iteration in the learning network. The innovation process is a result of interactions among the environment, organization, and entrepreneurs. So entrepreneurial activity involves adaptive behaviors and strategies to influence others' action in contexts. Thereby, that means they can drive innovation and be effective. So innovation goes along with entrepreneurship, and when some executives were asked to rank 6 entrepreneurial abilities, they replied that these abilities be creativity, entrepreneurial know-how, responsibility, risk-taking, problem-solving, and team working. So we could say that entrepreneurship education focuses on developing real-world skills that will help students to survive and face challenges in a rapidly changing world. Students learn to understand the product development cycle. They can come up with their own unique business proposals. They can deliver multiple pitch presentations. Pitching is a very, very important skill, presentation skill nowadays. And the learners get to take action by addressing societal challenges and everyday problems based on their own interests and ideas. So this creates, of course, encourages creativity, engagement, and self-efficacy, but also uncertainty and ambiguity, which can be a negative experience initially. So entrepreneurship education teaches students crucial life skills. Crucial life skills that could be how to collaborate and work with a team, how to speak in public and prepare an effective presentation, how to collect and analyze data, how to use social media, how to solve real complex problems, and how to use creativity and curiosity in order to face difficult problems. So a key point in entrepreneurial education is, of course, to start at an early age. This is very important, with abilities such as problem solving, if it's possible in preschool age, such as problem solving, team working, and creativity. That means that we cannot necessarily start with business competencies. It is recommended that in primary education, children should be familiarized with problem solving, team working, and creativity. And here I want to say that this education does not benefit only those who enter the fields of science, technology, and business. This is not true. Students of arts, for instance, or humanities can develop their imagination, learn how to apply creative thinking skills to real-world problems. So entrepreneurship is much more than preparation on how to run a business. It's about how to develop entrepreneurial attitudes, skills, and knowledge, which should enable a student to turn ideas into action. Entrepreneurial competencies require active methods of engaging students to release their creativity. They can be acquired or built usually through hands-on real-life learning experiences. They can be taught. Usually across all subjects as well as separate subjects. It should focus on entrepreneurs as well as entrepreneurs in light of the fact that most students will use entrepreneurial skills within companies. This teachers in school will not, of course, realize all their ambitions without cooperation and, of course, without the collaboration of all key stakeholders. What could be the benefits of this? We have said all this. prepare students for an uncertain future. Why? Because we live in an age of unprecedented global and technological transformation. Today, students face an uncertain future full of complex issues. Leave room for creativity and collaboration, because as standardized testing has become more common in public schools, opportunities for students to innovate and collaborate with others has become more scarce. So the partnership education encourages this creativity and collaboration. Teach problem identification. Know that students need to learn how to identify problems before they learn how to solve them. Problem solving has been taught in school for decades, and now we talk about STEM education. Problem solving is the first key skill. But the same cannot be said for problem identification. Traditionally, problem solving is taught by presenting students with issues that are already clearly defined by someone else. In the real world, problems can only be solved when they have been properly identified and described. Interesting, this education helps us develop grit. What is grit? Grit consists of passion. Passion and sustained persistence applied toward long-term achievement, because the demanding and uncertain entrepreneurship journey requires passion than most other activities. This makes this entrepreneurship program ideal for developing grit in our students. And why entrepreneurship education is important for girls? Girls stand to need to take advantage the most for this, because the underrepresentation of qualified women in leadership positions has created a gender gap that exists in almost every industry. Entrepreneurship education lets girls develop their leadership skills, embrace the competitive side, and learn to take actually more risks. It can be especially effective when practiced in a single-sex classroom setting, which lets girls explore their interests and passions in an environment free from gender stereotypes and social pressure. And also, this type of education aids students from all socioeconomic backgrounds to think outside the box and nurture conventional talents and skills. It creates opportunities, it ensures social justice, instills confidence, and stimulates the economy. So we could say that the entrepreneurship education is a lifelong learning process, starting as early as primary elementary school and progressing through all levels of education, including adult education. Introducing young kids to the entrepreneurship develops initiative helps them to be more self-confident in whatever they undertake and to act in a socially responsible way. Um, and Here we can see that how entrepreneurship education changes the students' attitude toward entrepreneurship, how this could strong atmosphere of innovation, reducing environmental uncertainty, how this provides comprehensive learning and management for student entrepreneurs, helps them to establish correct values and cognitive systems, and creates, as I said before, a good environment for innovation. So, what will support? How are the strategies to promote entrepreneurship in school? It's important to learn how to learning a business. That could be language art, thinking skills, imagining. When we talk about learning a business, students can practice writing or interview questions and conduct interviews with entrepreneurs. The information can then be compiled into a directory of the types of goods or services, locations, and hours of the business. So students can then discuss location and products involved in the business. Language arts. In this way, students can be challenged to come up with business ideas or products that they think others would be interested to buy. Students can then debate on the potential audience for the product and how they can make modifications to it, which would be more attractive to the audience. And students can also deliberate on with and whom this product will be competing with. Thinking skills teach students to think on what is positive or strong about their work and let them ponder on their weaknesses to find the changes needed to make their product more interesting. So let our students understand to come up with their own original ideas and to be patient in the projects, having in mind also what limited resources they have. Thinking skills, as I said before, and imagining, because creativity goes along with imagination. We can suggest the common objects to students and make them imagine that object in a different outlook, for instance. This could be one strategy. This could help students to see the same object through a different perspective. And it will make them also see possibilities in a common object in a new way. Research skills, we could encourage students to look, for instance, the yellow pages to spot businesses and interesting names and then categorize these results in forms of objectives. So what the business producer sells. And also we could talk about storytelling because letting students construct entrepreneurial stories related to their own life helps them develop their opportunity skills. Or if we let students reflect upon problems in their own life, helps them develop everyday value creation skills. And also help them transform into a more entrepreneurial identity. And also they can help them picture themselves as entrepreneurs. Let them work and picture themselves as future, as prospective entrepreneurs. So what would be the activities to help them develop forms for team efficacy? And very, very important, the case of design thinking. How to organize interaction with the outside world, and also to act entrepreneurially. Active learning here is very important because contemporary pedagogies such as project-based or active learning should be applied, and this can be piloted in specific programs. Emerging good practices should be shared among teacher educators to eventually become embedded in day-to-day pedagogy. And also we can mention how it is important to have high quality programs for the continued professional development of existing teachers that are needed to support entrepreneurial teachers. We know that teachers worldwide they face problems of lack of confidence when they have to teach entrepreneurship, because they feel they don't have the necessary skills. So we need continued professional development programs. We need support from the community, partners in the community. Support systems have a vital role to play in making progress. And very important also the role of teaching networks, entrepreneurial teaching networks, because to assure continuous equality, teachers engaged in entrepreneurial teaching and learning should develop a network. That means meeting regularly and exchanging. All these components are interrelated. And of course, entrepreneurial school has a vision and a clear view of how entrepreneurship education fits into the broader curriculum and development plan. So when we develop entrepreneurship in initial teaching education, this we may may create problems and may be challenging for teachers. So to achieve sustainability here, action is required in all areas. Leadership, vision, and incentives are key at all levels. And governments, institutions, schools, and stakeholders need to launch a comprehensive strategy on entrepreneurship education for all levels and all levels and stages of education. Other novel ways um, we said how it's important to offer entrepreneurial opportunities and help people develop workforce for team efficacy. Why? Because teachers should give the students assignments to create value to external stakeholders based on problems and opportunities that students identify through a process they own themselves and take full responsibility for. Such assignments lead to repeated interactions with the outside world, which creates uncertainty, ambiguity, and confusion. And this should be regarded as a positive outcome and a source of deeper learning. Um, Service learning or volunteerism. Very important. A common challenge for teachers now is in service learning is how to create an activity that truly matches the needs of the community with the learning needs of the students. Very important. For instance, here in Greece, we don't have this culture of volunteerism, service learning very well developed. Um, so this is very, very important. Um, for students, because students at an early age should be inculcated these values of altruism, of compassion, of helping others. And design thinking could include three steps, um, how to be inspired by the world through observing it closely, looking for promising opportunities, how to brainstorm around the plausible ideas for concepts that can help people, how to test these ideas or using users through prototypes. So design thinking focuses on a creative search for what might be instead of being limited by what is and what should be. Um, and of course, interaction with the outside world is a key aspect because key factors are support for the school management, this capacity to build organizational strength and have clear goals and incentives. Other important factors include a flexible time zone, time schedule with students, allowing for longer lessons, time allowed for pedagogical discussions among teachers, time allowed for managing the change process, individual reflections need to shape a way of teaching. And some novel ways to assess the development of entrepreneurial competencies, some quality methods for evaluating that are being suggested are student diaries or student observation and also emotional and critical event interviewing. Why? Because the neglected role of emotion in learning has also been highlighted by some entrepreneurial education scholars who suggest that emotional and critical events have a prominent role to play in how entrepreneurs learn, and that the affective concept actually rare in entrepreneurship research should take a more explicit place in learning and teaching. Why? Because emotions are key to attributing meaning to our learning experiences, and therefore we need to make emotions central part of entrepreneurial education. What happens in Europe? European Union. I live here in Greece, so we try to foster entrepreneurial mindset for education and learning. Here in Greece, for the first time last year, our minister announced a new cognitive discipline, which is called the Lab of Skills, and it contains some thematic sessions. Among them, entrepreneurship is integrated in this new cognitive discipline. And it's a very, I would say, a great step for Greece, which is usually behind in terms of reforms. Um, so in the European Union, it is very well understood that entrepreneurship is a key competence to be developed from an early age. And recommendations about this are usually that we need a coherent framework, we need the support, of course, from schools. National and regional authorities should establish cooperation between different departments in order to develop a strategy with clear objectives and covering all stages of education. And school curricula should be revised to include, explicitly include the entrepreneurship as an objective of education. Support for schools should be given practical support and incentives to incorporate entrepreneurship in the curriculum through a range of different instruments. That could be teaching materials, it could be funding of pilot projects or dissemination of best practices, promotion of partnerships with business, support for dedicated organizations conducting entrepreneurship programs for schools, etc. So fostering entrepreneurship in higher education, also it's important. We would say that universities are the real agents of promoting entrepreneurship in education. Entrepreneurship can be incorporated here in various subjects, particular with scientific and technical studies in order to provide students with specific training on how to start and how to run a business. Support for teachers, it is essential that teachers be given initial and in-service training as well as practical experience. Awareness should also be raised among heads of schools to ensure that teachers are allowed the time and resources to plan, to run and evaluate activities. Participation by external actors and businesses, that means that educational establishment and the local community, especially businesses, should cooperate on the subject of entrepreneurship training, and firms should regard this as a long-term investment as an aspect of their corporate social responsibility. And practical experience is also important. One of the most effective ways to promote entrepreneurial mindset and skills is, of course, learning through learning by doing. We can mention here some examples, what happens with some programs in the European Union. The case of Spain, educational change system for entrepreneurship begins with students in the early grades and builds on the knowledge and experiences they gain every year through various educational paths until the students are prepared to enter the workforce. We have another case, what we call Imagina competition. Imagina competition. Here is a competition for secondary school students. In this competition, awards the best ideas for innovative business projects which enable the implementation and development of innovative companies in the region of Murcia. So the competition is at Junior Secondary School, and here there are three different phases within the project. There's a motivation speech, how to develop a business plan, how to present, etc. We have also festival. It's an annual event organized in 20 academic centers through Poland. The festival lasts for 7 days in each city. The festival program includes concerts. There are many events such as exhibitions or concerts or workshops and meetings with entrepreneurs and business staff. And how Sweden, what Sweden has done, the Swedish government presented a national strategy for entrepreneurship education. The aim of strategy is to make entrepreneurship visible throughout the entire education system in Sweden. So, actually, educational reform often aims to achieve large-scale spread of good educational practices to classrooms. Usually, most initiatives fail in impacting classrooms and teaching practices. But if entrepreneurial education is to be scaled to something More than pockets of excellence in isolated classroom and schools, a number of key success factors of educational reform need to be taken into account. Here you can see a very interesting, important project which was implemented by primary school students here in Greece. So students have created a pair of glasses for students with, for children with visual impairment. And here you can see that they use STEM technology. They have used Arduino. So we have so far how special education is involved, how STEM education is involved, how entrepreneurial skills are involved. These students have created a virtual company. So students have created, divided their roles. One was a project manager, other one was a director, other one was an advertiser, etc. And what they have done, they created this pair of glasses for people with visual impairment, and they reached out to the community to sell this project. So we talk also about community-based learning, which is a very important trend in education nowadays, which is combined also with service learning that I mentioned before, and volunteerism. So we can see that in one, the magic here is in one project, STEM education, special education, entrepreneurial skills are involved, and community-based learning are involved. And all this, this is implemented by primary school students. It means that if we integrate entrepreneurship education, we can work miracles. So entrepreneurs seek to solve problems, to meet needs and ease pain points with the help of their products and services. They are hardwired to make a difference and make the world a better place. By participating in entrepreneurship programs, students don't just become ready to create their own futures, they become ready actually to change the world. And however, despite its promising effects on students and society, it's important to keep in mind that this field is in a quite early stage of development. It is still regarded as an innovative but marginal pedagogical approach, spurring much interest but also much confusion among various fields. So thank you very much for your attention. And of course, any question, I'm here to discuss.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for your wonderful and very extensive presentation you share with our participants. Thank you so much, ma'am. I hope our participants learn a lot from you. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Ma'am, now we are going to our quiz competition, and after that we come back again with our Q&A session. Okay, ma'am?
Of course, of course.
Okay, thank you. Dear participants, now we are going to our quiz competition, and for our quiz code is quiz IZ. The code is quiz IZ. Let's see in our quiz video. Dear participants, this is our quiz session time. You can join this session by slido.com, and today our quiz code is quiz IGP. The code is quiz IGP. You can also scan our QR code from the screen to join this live quiz session. And today top 10 quiz competition winners get their quiz certificate after the session from our official Facebook page. Our Facebook page address is Institute of Global Professionals. I remind you that there is no relationship between quiz completion certificate and free international webinar certificate. And after this quiz session, we have question and answer session, and after that we share our certification process step by step. So I request everyone to join the session by slido.com, and after that you have to enter the code, and the code is quiz IGP. Then you can join this live quiz session. And don't forget to mention your friends in the comment box to join this live quiz session. We start our quiz competition after 2 minutes later. So join the hurry up and mention your friends in the comment box. Dear participants, to join this quiz session, you have to go to slido.com, and after that you have to enter the code, and the code is quiz IGP. Then you can join this live quiz session. And today top 10 quiz competition winners get their quiz certificate. After 1 minute later, we start our quiz competition. Now 27 participants already join with us. Dear participants, we start our quiz competition now, so be ready. Our first question is, entrepreneurial mindset is for business management students or anyone and everyone willing to learn? Option number 2, anyone and everyone willing to learn is the right answer. Our next question is, how many entrepreneurial mindsets components are there? Is it 5 or 8? Option number 2, it is the right answer. Our next question is, what is the common entrepreneurial mindset? Is it classic entrepreneur or change agent. Option number one, classic entrepreneur is the right answer. Next question is, individuals with entrepreneurial mindsets are often lost to opportunities and innovation. The statement is true or false? Option number two, the statement is false. Next question is, entrepreneurial mindset is fixed or set of skills and behavior that can be taught and practiced. Option number two, set of skills and behaviors that can be taught and practiced is the right answer. Next question is, employers tend to avoiding hiring employees who have entrepreneurial mindsets. The statement is true or false? Option number two, the statement is false. Next question is, an entrepreneurial mindset is good leadership skills and being able to use rational or being able to start the communist revolution. Option number one, good leadership skills and being able to use rational is the right answer. Next question is, developing an entrepreneurial mindset will help you only if you start a business or whether you start a business or work as an employee for a company. Option number two, whether you start a business or work as an employee for a company is the right answer. Next question is, entrepreneurial mindset is only for dash. Is it innovators or anyone and everyone? Option number two, anyone and everyone is the right answer. Next question is, correct tiers of mindset. Is it initiative and self-reliance or flexibility and reliance? Option number one, initiative and self-reliance is the right answer. Thank you everyone for your active participation in this quiz session. Dear participants, top 10 quiz competition winners get their quiz certificate after this session from our official Facebook page. Now we are going to our Q&A session. After a short video clip, we come back again with our speaker.
Sorry, I can't hear you. I think you are mute. I can't
Sorry,
hear
ma'am.
you.
Our first question is, how is entrepreneurship changing the world?
Mm-hmm. Well, no, according to the UN General Assembly, it's a well-known resolution which was signed in 2018. Entrepreneurship contributes, first of all, to sustainable development by creating jobs, by driving economic growth and innovation, by improving social conditions, and addressing social environmental challenges. So we need, of course, a comprehensive and holistic approach to entrepreneurship that includes long-term and cross-sectoral policies and strategies, and very important, the role of what we call green entrepreneurship, environmental entrepreneurship. That means that companies should not care only about the profit, but also how to protect the environment. Social and inclusive entrepreneurship means we need to take into consideration also vulnerable groups. We all know how women and young people were hit harder during the COVID pandemic. And also, we talk about digital entrepreneurship because now, during the COVID pandemic, we've seen how digitalization has changed the world. So, entrepreneurship can be an important driver, enabler, and empowering tool for sustainable development because, for instance, social entrepreneurs can explore market opportunities and can create new, innovative, sustainable solutions for economic, social, and environmental challenges such as sustainable technologies, for instance. I want to say that in the future, we can hope for greater awareness of the need to develop and establish progressive models for entrepreneurial education, rather than continuing the quest of an one-size fits all approach to this. We can also hope for researchers. Researchers can identify some characteristics of entrepreneurial education across all levels of education, and it can give us a stronger empirical evidence. And also in the future, we can say that teachers will hopefully have access to more frameworks, to more classifications and other support material, allowing them to pick and choose from a large variety of pedagogical tools and methods. And this way they can um, hone their own teaching style and their strategies appropriate, of course, to the students, the contexts and available resources.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, our next question is, how can you cultivate a creative mindset for our learners in this time of pandemic?
Mhm. I think that this period of the COVID pandemic, we can combine art with entrepreneurship. It's very important because, these both fields complement one another, analytical mind with critical mind. So we could encourage students, for instance, to think about a digital entrepreneurship, to think about a concept, something innovative, and in this way, they can divide their roles. They can think of a product. They can think of how they could reach out to community, to parents, to other members of the society to project the program. And this could happen also during online learning, because also during online learning, distance learning, by leveraging collaborative tools, we can still work wonders. We can, if we suggest collaborative projects with our students. Um, so, especially in the COVID pandemic, I think we can do many innovative things. We can involve, as I said in my presentation, the role of emotion. The role of emotion is very important. And during the COVID pandemic, we need to encourage students to express themselves feelings about this crisis. So, if we combine emotional learning, creative learning through arts, through brainstorming, and at the same time, entrepreneurial mindset. This combination, this mixer could have a wonderful result.
Thank you, ma'am. Our next question is, let me know how this subject going to help schools.
Mhm. As we said already, we've said that how this enables uh, uh, creativity, invention, collaboration. All these skills are highly valued by top colleges and most businesses in the world and will be used of our students beyond the middle school and high school years. So this can help us develop life skills. They can help us to learn about lifelong learning, to continue learning, to apply our knowledge in various roles, learn how to simulate entrepreneurs, the ability they can learn to develop ability to recognize opportunities, to solve daily life problems, because I said before that problem solving and problem identification are very, very important skills that need to be developed if it is possible at an early age. So entrepreneurial education help us in this. First of all, collaboration, how to speak in public, pitching presentation and speaking in public. It's one of the most important now skills that are promoted. Because why? Because according to research, the main factor that usually candidates for a work, the main reason that they fail during an interview is because they haven't developed these pitching presentation skills. So the entrepreneurial skills really helps us in many, many aspects, presentation skills, collaboration skills, um, how to be entrepreneur, also entrepreneurial skills, solve problems, complex problems, propose solutions, suggest solutions, soft skills, life skills, etc. And of course, how to leverage our creativity. I want to say here that, of course, someone is not born as an entrepreneur because it's something that it can be learned. However, in order to be a good entrepreneur, you need to have a social passion, a social drive, and creativity. This cannot be measured or taught.
Thank you, ma'am. Our next question is, what is an entrepreneur looking for a trusted secondary source of market research in the e-commerce segment?
Okay, so what do you mean? What is mean exactly that about online commerce? Mhm. I don't understand really this question. Can you clarify this question more? It is possible in the chat box. Okay. When we talk about online commerce, and this has many, many aspects, and this means how to develop a very good business plan, how to try to open our options about uh, a market search. This during the COVID pandemic, have seen how the markets are opened, and also we have more clients or abroad. Um, and market research is very interesting now that we have these online tools, and we have more empirical, more evidence-based research and study. So it's interesting to see what are the new trends, what are the new trends in market research. And what we always try to do is to find something that differentiates our product from our competitors. We need to create value for our customers. So when we have to look for a source of market research, we need to find what is differentiating for us, what creates value creation for our customers. Because in order to succeed as an entrepreneur, you need to be innovative. You need to create something which is different from our competitors.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for your wonderful answer. I hope our participants learn a lot from you. Thank you so much, ma'am, for giving your valuable time with us. Ma'am, what is the last and final words for our participants? Ma'am, what is your last and final words for our participants? And can you hear me? Dear participants, for our certification code is IGP 9483. The code is IGP 9483. Please note that code or take a screenshot of this picture. To download your e-certificate, first of all, you have to go to our website. Our website address is eduigp.com. And after that, if you don't have any account on our website, first of all, you have to create an account. And after that, you have to enroll our today's program. And after that, you have to enter the code. And the code is IGP 9483. Then you can download your e-certificate. After downloading your e-certificate, don't forget to celebrate with IGP checking. Thank you everyone for your active participation in this session. I hope you learned something new from our speaker. Thank you everyone. Stay happy and stay safe.